The weather's holding out for us here in Vail. Super sunny. Just got to take a ride in the new GMC Yukon. We did an uphill, downhill assist, and raised and lowered using the air suspension. These tracks here behind me are not made by the Yukon. They're made by what I'm about to drive next. And it's made specially for the mountains. So no wheels, just tracks. Super excited to drive one of those. I've seen these, I mean, this thing has been at every auto show for the past few years. They threw the tracks on a Sierra AT4, which is new, and I'm really looking forward to driving that and the Yukon. It looks really awesome. It's gonna drive in the snow, hopefully as awesome as it looks. But let's go check it out. Check 1 2, check 1 2. All right, it's working. How's it going, Autoblog folks? Chris McGraw here. I am in my new studio. A couple of episodes back, told you moving out of that one, in the new one, started to get things set up a bit. Maybe we'll do a video on that later. What I want to talk about today, as you've seen, is I was up in the mountains last week in Vail while I had the flu for the 2021 GMC Yukon reveal. Just drove the all mountain in the video you just saw. But the main thing that I went to Vail and the surrounding mountains for was the Yukon. And so what I'll show you right now is a quick little drive of the Yukon that we did. It was a super short course. These were prototype vehicles. They actually didn't even last the whole day. There were a lot of issues with them, with the transfer case and with the air suspension. But luckily, when I was in the driver's seat, most of it, all of it worked. So we were able to drive up kind of this big ramp that showed hill start assist. So we drove partially up this ramp and stopped, and the brakes held us there. Then we got to the top and we used the cameras, because when you're facing straight up like that, you can't see anything around you. So we used the cameras to make sure I wasn't going to drive off this ramp. And then we used the hill descent control to go down, and we were able to air up 2 inches with the air suspension and then air it down when we went underneath afterwards.
Okay, and so we'll do this scenario where you line up the middle of the vehicle. You can use these breakout portions in the middle of the lane guidelines, and this is the center of the ramp. So from here, I'll have you put it in 4 low.
Yep, okay. So put it in neutral.
4 low first. And then once it completes that, you can press the ride height button and turn it twice to the right. So that's telling you we turn off certain features in 4 low, so forward collision, etc. And then twice to the right.
Maximum ground clearance.
And so you see the blinking icon telling you that you're raising. So that's raising the 2 inches. When it gets all the way to the top, you'll see it go solid.
Okay.
And
Okay,
there it goes. I think the reservoir was low because of all the activity. Okay, yeah, back to drive, and then drive halfway up the ramp, and I'll have you hold.
Okay.
Just easy. All right, and then hit the brake, and you can remove your foot from the brake.
Wow. Okay.
So that's hill start assist. You'll see the icon come up. We don't throw it up initially because it becomes a customer nuisance thing if it comes off and on.
Gotcha.
The feature's on, but the warning message doesn't come on and off.
Okay.
So you can slowly apply throttle as you go over the crest.
Okay.
Again, watch the center. Okay, and then stop here. And they'll have you turn on hill descent control. So the button in the multiple button bank, you see an SUV going down a hill.
Yep.
And then you should see the mating icon. So then go very slowly over the second crest. And once you get to a sufficient angle and are pressing the brake, you'll see, okay, hold.
Okay.
A little farther. Okay, let go of the brake.
Wow, okay.
So it's set to 1 mile an hour and it'll take you down at that speed.
Wow.
So that feature, we'll just do the 1 mile an hour today, but you can alter that speed with either the throttle or the brake. It'll increase or decrease, or you can use the cruise control button, same as you would out on the highway, to increase or decrease.
And then again, as you're turning and accelerating in the snow, no problems, right? The drive line and the chassis controls work together to keep you moving.
Not super exciting, but it was my first seat time, our first seat time in the 2021 Yukon. And later on, there was a full-on reveal out in the mountains. It was pretty crazy. We're in the middle of nowhere, just snow everywhere, mountains in the background. They had a couple of domes set up and a huge stage where they unveiled 3 vehicles, the Yukon Denali, the Yukon XL Denali, and the Yukon AT4.
All new from the ground up. This stunning new Yukon is the embodiment of the GMC brand. Bold, capable, a commanding presence which conveys a confident, high-tech expression. But the biggest news is on the inside. Exclusive color and material themes are layered with handcrafted details that include open pore wood, custom decorative stitching, Denali exclusive leathers, plus materials, grains, textures, premium accent piping, and much, much more. The console, situated between the driver and the front passenger, can slide back up to 10 inches to give the driver access to a large open space that's perfect for a purse or a bag. Rear passengers will also enjoy the addition of dual 12.6-inch high-definition screens on the seatbacks. A true first-class experience from all.
As an engineer, it's an exciting opportunity when we get to develop a vehicle from the ground up. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Yukon XL Denali. Denali comes standard with our 6.2-liter V8, which produces best-in-class 420 horsepower and 460 foot-pounds of torque. At the heart of the Yukon's enhanced dynamics, there's an all-new active four-wheel response system. It seamlessly sends optimal torque to each wheel to improve traction, whether the road is clear or slick. Our segment-first air ride adaptive suspension adjusts ride height at all 4 corners up to 4 inches. In driver-controlled modes, we offer 2 inches of travel from the default settings down to a loading mode and 2 inches travel upward for additional ground clearance when off-roading. The second all-new feature is a high-definition surround vision system, which also greatly enhances driver visibility and confidence. The 9 camera views offered by this system are the most in the segment. There's even an available rear camera mirror that provides a wider field of vision and removes obstructions like passengers, gear, or window pillars. Another cutting-edge feature available is the class-leading 15-inch head-up display.
This week, we showed you a first-ever Canyon AT4, but we're not done yet. So today, I'm excited to announce the first ever Yukon AT4. The next generation GMC Yukon AT4 is an SUV that epitomizes premium off-road. Its unique front fascia not only visually conveys a rugged all-terrain look, but it's also very functional thanks to a greater approach angle and the AT4 signature red tow hooks.
All right, I'm now leaving the GMC Yukon reveal event, and the sun has gone down. It's getting a bit cooler here in the mountains. And I have to say, that was one of the cooler reveal events I've been to. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere here in the mountains, 30 or so minutes outside of Vail, Colorado. They have this huge setup. Got these geodomes that I've seen in a couple different GM reveals. They had them in Newfoundland for the Sierra as well, where they're showing off the new vehicles. 3 new vehicles. You got the Yukon XL, and the Yukon AT4. The XL and the regular were Denalis, and then we have the AT4, which is more of the off-road package. And I have to say, pretty cool, the third row. I hopped in the third row today, mostly because I wanted to see how spacious that third row was. My buddy's got a Yukon, and the third row is abysmal. But the third row for these Yukons, actually pretty comfortable. We had some issues today when we drove on their course. We were in prototype vehicles, but had some issues with the transfer case working and the air suspension working properly. The air suspension does have limitations. We had 6 people in the car, and 2 of us had to get out in order for the air suspension to work. So there are limitations as far as how high you can raise it with a certain amount of cargo, which is kind of a bummer because the Yukon is meant to be filled with a bunch of stuff and a bunch of people, and if you can't use all of the off-road capabilities when it's full of a bunch of stuff and a bunch of people, then what's the point of having that big of a vehicle? But overall, I say the interiors are a huge step up. You know, GM does not make my favorite interiors, and when we tested out the Sierra, I wasn't super thrilled with them. The AT4 interior, I think looks really cool. It's got a power movable center console, which I think could be a neat feature. Overall, a lot better than the last generation. I'm excited to get some miles on these and maybe take the AT4 off-road out here one of these weeks once it's in the fleet. So hopefully I'll get one soon. Stay tuned to see how off-road capable it actually is.